Hello, you guys. It is Ebony. It is I, and we're here to talk about TBFF again. But we're gonna do some celebrity requests. Um, like I said, the majority of this list actually was recommended to me in like May before I took that short break from doing that content. I will say, I, you guys, I've said before, I have to be interested in the thing for me to do the thing, and so sometimes you guys give me requests. I'm like, no, there's no such thing as a stupid question over here. There's no such thing as a stupid question, but there are some celebrities I'm just like, they're just so left field. It's just some people I personally can't believe y'all give a fuck about like that. Ask me. So I'm not gonna be doing every single person that was specifically requested. Not every single person, but definitely this is the these are some people that did ask for, amongst others who I won't get to everyone today. I definitely have at least one or two more videos to do to cover all of the celebrity requests. You know, probably we'll have to do one or two more videos, maybe one long video, but we'll see. It's just like I don't give a damn about some of those people. I'm gonna be honest. I'm doing who I think is relevant and who I think will be very interesting to see, and we're gonna move from there. Yeah. So to begin with Doja Cat, I feel like Doja Doja would like this person. I think that Doja kind of sees her, I'll say her divinity. Like, she definitely sees the star in her and how big that she probably is going to be. I've heard people say that about Doja too. Like, they knew her before she blew up and just could kind of tell that she was going to be the next big thing. I feel like Doja kind of agrees or kind of sees why people talk about her the way that she does, or they do. One thing is that I do think that Doja, I don't want to say intimidated, but she might feel like this person will give her a run from her money. She knows that she's definitely one of the stronger pop performers out there. She's just a rapper. She's definitely somebody who, if she puts on a show, it's definitely worth it for you to come and, come give your money to her and come see the show. You know what I'm trying to say? I think that she feels like, I think that she's kind of gauging TBFS as like, I don't think you're a worthy enemy. I think you would be a great ally or a friend. I do think that she's just a little bit cautious on how to move with her because she is a little bit. I do think she's a little bit intimidated, not because Doja is untalented and she needs to move over. I think that Doja is just like, I don't know if it might hurt her ego, but I do think that she might be a little bit, it might be a little bit hard to see this person to really thrive because Doja knows that she's not untalented, but this person might just be someone who like numerically on paper is doing crazy fucking things, especially like leaning into aesthetics or sounds that Doja herself abandoned. Like, there was a point where Doja was like, fuck all y'all and this cookie cutter music that y'all like, and this person could do that quote unquote cookie cutter music, and she's like, damn. Damn. Like, I just don't think she's envious, or she would remain envious or not try to work through this. I don't know that they could or would be good friends or even like collaborators, because I do feel like unfortunately there is a little bit of energy. One thing I will say is that I can admire or respect people who, like, they might experience jealousy, but they don't necessarily let it eat them up. Like, some people get, murderous and like vengeful. I don't think Doja is like that, but it might be one of those things where they can't be super close because she knows I don't really have the best intentions for this person based on my own, prejudices or whatever. I think she might be shocked by this person's success and how it might make her feel inadequate in some ways. Like, what it boils down to. There's nothing wrong with you. It just makes me realize I'm not where I want to be, or life is not necessarily, brand new and shiny the way that it was during like Hot Pink or whatever. And I do think she might make Doja question some of her choices, especially her musical choices over the past couple years, and seeing her succeed at things, possibly in sounds and aesthetics that Doja herself kind of abandoned or said, I don't really find valid, just to see how quote unquote valid that it is. Yeah, she feels like this person is a bona fide star, even just coming out. Doja's another person who kind of had to build herself up. She might feel like this person starts on a super high note that is very similar to like Beyonce. She just feels like this person is like, even though she's new, she is quite literally a great or a legend. I also don't feel like she's that far from Doja in age. I wonder, Doja could wonder, like, if I had enough time to really invest in myself over the amount of time that this person has had, would my artistry or my presentation be a lot different? Because, like, I think she dropped out of high school. Like, she's been making music for a really long time. For a couple of years before it popped off, and just like, it just, her circumstances would definitely obviously wire her in a certain kind of way. She might not necessarily envy, but just worry, like, wonder if I had the patience or I had the support or whatever it is that TBFS had to kind of make her so introspective, would I have been a better artist? Like, would I have lashed out? Would I interact with the public like that? Would I create what I create? Would I have walked away from certain opportunities, right? If I had the support or just kind of the knowledge of myself at the time. I'm gonna be honest with Coco. Hypothetically, allegedly, I just think that Coco. I think I think Coco can definitely kind of envy this person. I think it would definitely be a little bit of envy. I wonder if Coco might look at this person and feel like, I've been here longer than her, or it's almost like this energy of there's nothing that she has that I don't have. She may wonder or feel like, certain things like colorism, might be benefiting this person, or certain kinds of lookism might be benefiting this person, because she might feel like she doesn't really understand why this person would have so much opportunity or like fanfare given to her in a way that Coco might feel like she's never been given herself. It's very interesting because I don't actually think that Coco thinks about herself like she's a failure, or she doesn't really have the support that she would like. I just think that she feels like it could be more. Like she might look at this person and feel like, okay, like my shit is good, but my shit is not doing that, and I want that, and that might be the issue. That's why I'm saying it kind of gives envy to me, because I don't think she inherently has an issue with her life, but I do think that she kind of, especially if this is like a new ceiling broken, she's like, well, that was the goal. If that's what was possible, I want that. Like, why don't I have that? It's almost like she doesn't really see the inadequacy until she sees somebody else do something, and at that point, it becomes kind of like, oh, I want that. She might feel like her rise to fame or her success happened so quickly, or like disrespect happened so quickly. Um, I don't know. There's something about like the whole quote unquote prophecy and stuff behind her that could be significant, like the spirituality, or like the omens or the messaging behind someone like this being successful at the time that she is. Um, I I don't know. I just feel like like I said, there might be a little bit of like alienation or making her feel a certain kind of way out of jealousy. I'm not saying that Coco was a mean girl. There's just something about this feels a little bit concerted in a way that makes me wonder, like, is it beef? Like, are you really telling X, Y, and Z you don't talk to her? Like, what's going on? It's so funny because I'm looking at my shirt. It says Tony Chopper if you watch One Piece. But like they met Chopper at the time when they were actually looking for a ship doctor. So it kind of seems like, like with Avatar, it's like when the world needed him most, he vanished. I feel like with TBFS, it's like the world needs this kind of person. And she might feel a certain kind of way about that. I just feel like she might give this person a little bit of attitude based on her own feelings, but not necessarily because she's been done wrong. Yeah, I think Coco could definitely deal with this. Like, not really take well this idea of there being a new Black Supreme or Beyonce, and she's just not. Like I said, it just makes her feel like she's not where she wants to be, even if 5 minutes ago she didn't really feel that way about herself. But it's like, to be fair though, like none of the R&B girls are just doing crazy good, right? Like with the Tyler album, and that's a lot of the reason why it has the discourse that it does, because there are a lot of people, especially Tyler fans, who are acting like she was just going to be the next big pop girl, and she's really not. None of the new girls are really just shitting on each other. Like, it's not like everyone's albums are selling like 15K and lower first week. It doesn't matter if X, Y, and Z lasts at X, Y, and Z. No one is out here doing crazy good. So it might be the fact that everyone else is kind of in the same flopping category, like Coco, uh, Normani, Tyler, Chloe. I'm thinking about Kalani. Kalani kind of got out of Flopville, but like, you know what I'm trying to say. For the most part, a lot of the R&B girls are definitely performing within the same range of each other, which isn't great. Just for this person to kind of outdo that and be like, it's kind of embarrassing if your album sold 15K and you're like, okay, relative to my genre, it's not amazing, but it's on par, so it's like not really a surprise. And then somebody else comes and does, or 1,000, or sorry, 100,000, and you're like, oh, okay, so the issue was me. So the issue was me, and not necessarily the times or even the sound. Yeah, she just kind of feels like there's kind of a new wave or a new school that begins as a result of this person, and she kind of feels like she can't keep up, or everything that she will do has to kind of chase this person's success or what she's attained or achieved. If you know what I'm trying to say, like there's now something else to aspire to. I think it's just really hard because this person is her peer, and it's not necessarily the stats of an old legend like Beyonce who's been here for 20 years. So she doesn't have anything to prove. It's okay to kind of put her on a pedestal and be like, I want that one day. It's harder to look at somebody who likely might be the same age or younger than her, just got here, but she, Coco's been in the industry for at this point, clearly over 10 years, probably closer to 20 at this point, and see someone like that surpass you in like a year when you've been working for this and you've been back on for a couple years as well. Yeah, she just feels like this person shifts everything so much, and there is much fanfare behind. There is just so much fanfare behind her. Like as things pivot very quickly or things might take off. I'm thinking about Ice Spice. Like things might take off very quickly, but they continue to rise. This is someone who is really ready for the change and like the platform that they have. This is not an Ice Spice where she just gets on that bitch talking 1, 2, 3 after 6 months of being here. Like I think this is someone who is very, very intelligent and very innovative and ready to bring that brilliance. And it's kind of hard to kind of digest. The funny thing is with Olandria, this is what I feel. I could be totally wrong. I don't think Olandria likes this person, and it doesn't. It doesn't really give jealousy. Like it doesn't really give jealousy. It just kind of gives, I don't really like you. I don't really like your music. This might be a little bit of her fame or her platform, because Olandria is like the last Black it girl, like the most recent Black it girl that we've had. So I wonder if she might feel like this person kind of steals her thunder, especially if they're like, for example, Olandria didn't go to the Met Gala. I wonder if there's certain things that this person gets that Olandria feels like she should have had because she was the bitch, and this person might even get more interesting, or especially within a short amount of time. She's done such prestigious stuff. She might kind of envy that and feel like it should be mine, or like like I was that person in that spot, even though she doesn't do music. I think it's just that it girl energy. Especially if this person is regarded as a beauty symbol, or fashion is very, very big to this person's brand. Like I said, it might be for the debut. I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like Olandria feels like she can't keep up with her, especially because like she's an it girl, but she's actually here doing something. No shade to Olandria, like there's nothing wrong with her just being an influencer and just getting like I really do not look down on that. But there's a part of me that feels like she might feel inadequate because like she has all those things with influencing, but she doesn't really have a real talent, and she doesn't have a real gig at this point. Like she's just like doing bookings and modelings and promotions at this point. Versus this is someone who you could go on a we could definitely get the same like ad or whatever, but then you'll go on a tour with you know 30,000 people and make millions of dollars. I can't necessarily keep up with that with just what I'm doing. Like I feel like she feels like she is not doing enough, and so she looks at this person like, wow, you're doing so much, or you have so much. Like I said, we're on the same level in terms of like the soft culture influence, but like this is actually your job. Like you can take this to a level that I really couldn't unless I just got really fucking lucky, right? Because Alondria is definitely a successful model, but she's not like a Naomi Campbell. Like she's not a supermodel. She's not someone who you're gonna see on high fashion runways every single season. She has to be lucky enough to get a promotion or ad. Not to say that she's just like a beggar or whatever, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like as an influencer, you kind of get your pick. Like you're only gonna get very specific opportunities, especially when you're not somebody who is like really 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 in fashion outside of the promotion that you can do for fashion. Yeah, if you're to ask me, I don't think Alondra would like this person. I just don't think that I don't think she's very nice to her. I don't think she's very kind to her. um I don't know if Alondra might feel like she has her own reasons, or she's keeping her feelings hidden. Especially if these are negative feelings. She just to me, I'm just gonna say I just don't feel like Alondra would like this person. I don't hypothetically, allegedly. I don't think that she's a bad person. I just don't think that she can kind of curb her negative feelings about what this other person has. I don't think she's necessarily a very coveting kind of person, but she might covet what this person has a little bit. Especially if she feels like this person has like a beautiful love life. Like, all of the things that she has going for her are going really, really well. So if this is like a successful partner, it might be she envies that, especially being able to bring to the table what her partner also brings. Yeah, I think that she's keeping these things hidden, but I think that she stays away from her as much as possible. I do not think that she likes this person or even like really wishes good on her. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so very funny with Lori Harvey. I think that she's very similar to Alondria. I don't think that she's fucking with this person at all. The thing about Lori is, I'm not saying that she's like super rude. I think that she's very unafraid to be like, fuck that bitch. Like, not like literally, but just like not feeling her kind of thing. I wish, what's funny though? I assumed as much just because in the Michael with Jordan video, I had mentioned certain things like, I had mentioned certain things about, yeah, like him liking her and things like that. So that might be why things are going. Like she has such a negative opinion about her, especially she feels like some of the men that Lori herself likes get implicated or work with CBFS, and that could be an issue. And with Michael B. Jordan, I said before, I do think that Michael finds her attractive. Yeah. The thing about it is, I do think that Michael, I don't think that he's necessarily, especially if he gets rejected, I don't think that Michael is the type to push it, to be kind of butthurt about it. Like it is what it is. If you don't want me, then you don't want me, right? I do think that being around her constantly, if they work together, she could be very, very tempting to him. I can honestly see them working together and possibly something that isn't even a Ryan Coogler movie, right? Because I just, I might be wrong, right? But I don't see them working together in an extensive capacity. I feel like whatever idea that Ryan has for her is for her, and it centers around her. Michael might be there, but definitely in passing. I feel like they will work together outside of that. But I do think even like for example, I can definitely see them playing something. I don't think that they will play romantic roles. They might even play enemies, but I do think especially being up close to her, like watching her very closely, I think Michael could definitely fall for her or just be very highly attracted to her. Like this could be somebody who I really get this energy of like looking. And I've said this before, where like seeing her up close can be very aesthetically pleasing. So this could be somebody who is like, I'm close to you, especially she's on the shorter side. To me, she's never seemed like a super tall person, so like 5'5" and under. Like he could just enjoy. This is gonna be. It's not like perverted or weird, but it's just like very specific. Or like standing over her and like looking in her face, especially like this is someone whose makeup always looks nice or your hair always looks beautiful. She can also, I've said this before in passing, she could smell good, or like the small details about her, she just always looks nice. Like I feel like the more that he's around her, even if they play roles that fucking hate each other, he could just look at her more deeply and just be like, damn, like he definitely has a staring problem or like a stalking problem. Like he's definitely going to be paying a lot of attention to her. He might even talk about her a lot behind the scenes. I wonder if Ryan, like he's kind of old, no shade, like to be doing this, but like I wonder if he looking has like a burner or like a Finsta, like like places where he would talk about her online, or maybe this is just in his own group chat. They're having extensive conversations about her. Also, it's also specific. He could really love her skin or love her skin tone. I wonder if he could even compliment her on this or just say certain things about that. I'm also looking at my piercing, so I wonder if he could really like her accessories, or if she has piercings, he could really like that as well. He might also feel like she has very pretty, pretty eyes, or he just likes the way that she does her eye makeup. Like I'm just saying he struggles to keep his feelings hidden, or just
how do I put this? Like, even if you can physically tell that he's feeling a certain kind of way, he kind of feels the need, like, especially if he's much older than her, he's like, okay, let me not say, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, let me not creep this little girl out, but like, not little girl, but you know what I'm trying to say? Because I do feel like this is someone who's closer to 30 than 20, but like, you know, I think that he just looks at her like, I really like you, or you are really my type. And I said before that I'm not saying that she literally looks like Lori, but phenotypically they could have some of the same traits. So like the skin color might not be that far off, the body type might not be that far off, you know, that kind of thing. Also, to say he definitely thinks that they could be a couple for sure, but he feels like for example, him and Lori, even if they liked each other, I think that they were very conscious of the fact that people shipped them together and they were a look, you know, because they're just two attractive people together. And so he could definitely want that, but he could feel like even though Lori was okay with that kind of thing. And it's funny because I was thinking about like he loves her mindset because she might be a go-getter similar to Lori, but I do think that their motivations for wanting or doing certain things are different. Like Lori might be the kind of person to hypothetically, allegedly, you know, be okay with a PR relationship because it boosts her brand. You know, not to say she doesn't do anything, but Lori is really known as a socialite. Like it's not necessarily like she's out here just doing busting out films and shit. Like it's just a look for her brand, but she's not necessarily like working. If that makes not to be offensive, I actually don't know if she does anything. But he might be like this person. She actually goes to work. She actually is a creative. She's actually an actress, so she don't want to fucking do this. Especially if I'm thinking about Brandy. Like you know when Brandy was lying about how she got married to cover up the fact that she had a baby out of wedlock. Like he would be okay with lying, like thinking until he makes it with her, and she's just like, nah, nigga, like I'm not even the kind of person to do no shit like that. Like do it simultaneous, but too smart to kind of take advantage or try to use him for clout or to get on in a way that you know other women have been very, very okay with in the past.
I don't feel like Lori is ashamed or afraid to kind of say that or make it clear that she does not like this person, even if it was just like still like subtly shady. It's still a very clear I don't like you. I think Lori is another one who like no shade. Like for example, like with Michael in terms of Michael is a successful actor. Lori is like a socialite, like an influencer. I know shade. I don't know if she really does anything. I'm not saying that she doesn't. I just don't know. Like maybe she works in like PR or something behind the scenes. But from what I know, I think that she's just like a wealthy socialite. But like I said, I don't actually know. I think that Lori could definitely be jealous of the money that this person has, but specifically the branding or the career that this person has could be scary to her, especially because she can feel like, for example, you know, I'm like Michael's beautiful girlfriend and we'll go on a carpet and we'll do whatever that we do together. But like you're the kind of person who he would work with he would work with and he would definitely be able to see your brilliance and your genius. Like you get to be with him a little bit more intimately than I would. Not like literally like we're like humping or whatever, but you know, you get to see the inspired, creative part of him. You get to be with him when he's in his element. And on top of that, people be falling in love on these movie sets. Don't ever get it fucking twisted. It be people who, you know, they do whatever that they do in front of the camera and then get behind the camera and straight hunt. So like I don't blame her. And I said before, I'm like, I definitely feel like Michael will likely take an interest in this person, even if it was unrequited. I think that there will definitely be an attraction to her. They might date, they might attempt to date, you know, they might just explore explore this connection. Like you know what I'm trying to say? I think that him and TBFS will get to know each other, even if they decide that they don't want to be with each other and it doesn't really go anywhere. They will likely have some sort of dealings, like working together or dating in some capacity. I think that she just cannot deal with it, even if her and Michael weren't together. I think that Lori, hypothetically, allegedly, I don't think she'd be able to deal well seeing this specific person take her nigga. Like, it's really one thing if you just went to some other obscure broke ass bitch. It's like you can go cheat on me with fucking Beyonce, my nigga. Like, I'm also not saying that Michael is cheating, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you're involved with someone who has a very big career, like beautiful woman, very big career, like someone who would absolutely hurt her ego to know that they were involved. It's not some, like I said, it's not some random little, you know, cute but like obscure girl from the middle of nowhere. This is one of the biggest, most famous people in the world at the time. Hold on. Especially if there are rumors or you know she gets to work with him very early into her career. I just feel like she just feels like shit is happening so fast, either for TBF's come up or like the capacity in which her and Michael might have some dealings. I don't know if this is even like Damson or other men that Lori has been involved with, where she just takes that shit really hard because it happens so quickly.
Like TBFS is absolutely his type. I definitely don't think that she looks like Lori. Has Damson ever dated anybody publicly aside from Lori? Yeah, I don't think she actually looks like Lori, but she could fit into some of the same phenotypes, like maybe in terms of like skin color. This could be personality. This could be maybe even the way that she dresses in some ways. This could even be in body type. He might also like her ethnicity too, because like Lori is like Black American, right? But I feel like TBFS might have some like other ancestry like outside of America, so this might even be related to her in that way. I don't think she's Nigerian, but it could even be. I mean, like African, anything is possible, right? I'm not gonna lie though. I feel like he might like that she's smart, but he might feel like she's a little bit too smart for him. And I actually don't think that he's intimidated by a woman's intelligence. I think that he just might feel like she could low-key run circles around him because I said this the other day in a video where it's like sometimes celebrities be stupid, like they be dumb, like you know some of them are well educated, but a lot of them are not. And Damson might feel like for example with Lori, I don't know how far she's gone education wise. I'm sure that she at least has some sort of degree or whatever. But like, you know, she might low-key, I don't know. No shade to Lori because this is not about her. But she might be a little bit simple minded. You know, he might feel like, you know, he's not really with women who make him think very hard. And so she could just like she might say something like she might speak in riddles a little bit, or to him he just might not get it. He's like, damn, I'm definitely out of my league right now.
I also want to say that Lori might envy this person's personality or just feel like this person is known or very easily makes other people fall in love with her. And on top of that, she's super sexy. It's like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's really only a worry if somebody wants your nigga. But just imagine, like, you know, you're a cute girl with someone with huge titties and she's I'm just saying so. Someone with huge titties and an amazing personality, and that she's beautiful is talking to your man. Even the most beautiful, secure women might feel a certain kind of way, specifically when a very highly successful, very highly beautiful person is going at them, and then this is someone who also is very famous. It's just like I think, and I'm not saying that she thinks that she's gonna get took. I think that she could just understand, like, I wouldn't blame you if you did it. You know what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't blame you if you did it, and that's why it bothers me because, like, I get it, right? You know what I'm trying to say? I'm thinking about Mara from like Love Island, like her butt, her ass is so big, you can see that shit from the front. I know Angelista, even though he ended up choosing Angelista in the end, I know Angelista in that brief second was like, "Yo, fuck me," like blonde wig, big ass butt, my nigga is overly took. It's one of those. It's one of those things. Like, I don't even know if TBFS could low key like ruin one of Lori's relationships, especially if she feels like I just can't. She's just not secure about like what might be going on, or maybe they do have other things going on. That's why I'm like, I don't know if she literally takes her nigga, or she's just so afraid of her nigga getting took that she just starts to spiral. Like, and I don't wish this on her. This is not even me being like, ha ha ha. I just think that this person might unnerve her in a way, and that's why she might be very clear on, I do not like that bitch. Like, I think she actually likes TBFS. I think in a different world, a different life, in a different timeline, they probably would have been friends. And that might be another thing. Like, I even like you. You know what I'm trying to say? I have no reason to dislike you. I like you. I understand why my nigga would like you. But that's the issue. Like, as amazing as you are, I need you to be amazing 20 feet away from this nigga right now. Like, and the funny thing is, I do think, like I said, I do think to some capacity, TBFS will have some run-in with someone who Lori has been with if she's not literally with him. And I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I don't think that TBFS even really wants this nigga like that. And I've been said that about both Damson and Michael. Like, it's even if they have some dealings, it's 9 times out of 10 not going anywhere. But just even knowing that it happened can be very hard for Lori to swallow, especially knowing if they were like intimate. I think she could just be worrying about, especially if Lori sees this person as very sexy or she just has high sex appeal, she could really worry about that. Like, can I satisfy him after that? Like, am I really his type? Am I enough after he's been with this kind of person? I think she can tell that this person that she's with is very, very attracted to the TBFS too, and that could be very, very hard. Like, she could just be surprised, like feeling like she lost his attention, or just like, you know, like, I don't, you're not mine still. I get the energy of you're not mine anymore. Like, I can tell that she took you. Like, if she wanted you, she could definitely fully have you. It's very much so like Jolene. Like, she's not an ugly girl. It's not like Lori doesn't have shit going for her, but she just might feel like, you've come across the one person who like could confidently take you away from me. Yeah, it's really sad because I do think Lori would really like this person, but I do think at some point when she realizes what's going on, it's scorched earth. I don't like you. I don't like that. I hate everybody for doing this to me. I think that Sade would really, really like this person. She might feel like it's been a long time since there's been. She could definitely feel like it's been a long time since the world had like a bona fide star like this, especially amongst young black women. She could like how like disruptive this person is to the status quo or what is going on, or even this narrative around black female stars. Because like Sade was a star in her own right, like a huge beast, amazing music, like. She just feels like they don't make them like that anymore, and I'm glad to see that there's a new one. The 9 and 10 of Cups came out. I think that Sade would really like this person, especially if this person is very heavily inspired by Sade. I feel like Sade could be inspired by this person. This is the kind of person, if Sade, like, I'm not saying that Sade will work with her, but if this person ever wanted to like sample Sade, it would be an immediate yes. I think Sade loves her artistry and loves this person as a person. If she got to meet her, I think that it would be very great vibes. And I do think that whatever TBFS would ask of Sade, as a band, as an entity, if I wanted to sample this or reference this, I think that they would absolutely say yes every single time. She could love how chic and like worldly this person is, like how educated she is, how smart that she is, how eager she is to learn and to experience and be and have like submersive experiences in music. This is not someone who's just looking for another hit or single. She's really trying to create impactful, long lasting albums, even if it's pop music, very different to Sade. I think that Sade, like I said, will definitely see some of herself or her influences in this person, and she could love how this person references or even channels her. Like, I honestly wonder if Sade has had maybe younger girls who she's had very bad experiences with, or really just kind of feel like they were bastardizing their lane, or what it kind of means to have black women in these spaces. She just might feel like she's seen a lot of just like bullshit music. You know what I'm trying to say? She can feel like this person is the truth. She's definitely a star. Like, she's definitely this next generation, quote unquote, this next generation's Beyonce. I'm bringing her up a lot, but it's just like in other people's opinions, and that's why I'm like, I don't really understand why people in the story get so upset, because that is quite literally the of this archetype, you know, that we have to look at. I think this person can outdo Beyonce, or will, obviously have her own lane or her own right. But that's the main point of reference. Like it used to be Janet, at this point it's Beyonce, and then it will be this next person. She might feel like this person was always very valid, even if it took her a minute to pop off. She can feel like it's kind of sad that she had a lack of support, or it took her so long to be able to have this. But I do think that it happened. I wonder if Sade is very spiritual as well. She might. I don't want to say that she knew this person in a past life, but she just might feel like you were definitely meant to be here, or your story is impactful to the world in a way that's a lot bigger than you, right? You know how people say like that. Sorry, it's that lyric. No, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. She might feel like this was fated to happen for this person, but also for what it would do for the world. And she could tell maybe by how the result looks in this person's life, or how she carries herself, like you were meant to be here. It might even be that Sade can sense this this regalness to her, and that's why I'm like, when I mentioned that part about being educated is that, but it's really just like this sophistication, this urge to be sophisticated and learn more and refine oneself in a way that is like, you can tell that she comes from a place. You can just tell she comes from a place or a lifetime where she definitely had to kind of, I don't know. It kind of feels like being a diplomat, right? You're somebody who gets experiences, and you get to learn of the world and see things that a lot of other people don't have experiences of, and so you experience all these things to be able to kind of share this with people. Like, you're refining yourself, but you're also refining your taste so other people can indulge in these things too, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm thinking of like a diplomat, but this kind of reminds me of someone who, if you guys have ever watched that show Samurai, it kind of reminds me of someone who would be like a Christian in like, in like feudal era Japan. Like, you come from a great deal away to share information, to learn information that a lot of other people will never experience or be privy to in their lives. In general, she could really admire her intelligence. She could feel like this is something that she does not see, you cannot find in a lot of young women today. It's not about the intelligence. It's not about the craft. It's not about the narrative. It's just about being able to sell and being sexy. There's nothing wrong with that, but at some point, it has to be about the learning experience, just the experience of music itself. I think that she doesn't think that a lot of these young girls really care about it outside of what they can profit and how good that they look. And for Sade, she always looked good. She always sold, right? But she also was there to tell a story and make quality music. I feel like she feels like quality comes second to image and popularity, and how people perceive the numbers and all that, instead of it being about the quality of the work. And that's the issue. She might feel like that's quite literally why certain things underperform, because some people are so worried about having the numbers that they forgo the good albums, the good music, right, the great artistry. I feel like she feels like this person is truly a great artist. She's intelligent. Okay, but I'm gonna leave this here. I'm also gonna say this too. I have a list of actors, another list of like black actors. Like, who's it? Let me look. This is so early. Girl, I have somebody who requested. This is a bunch of people from the end of April. I see Sky Jackson, Kevin Hart, Jim Carrey, Jennifer Hudson, Tiffany Haddish, Tishina Arnold. I'll probably do that next. There are some people I just had to skip today, like Selena Gomez, Coi Leray, Blackpink, Becky G. Y'all can't convince me y'all really want them. But please, like, if you really want them people, please ask me again, please, so I know, because I'm just like, y'all don't really want to see that shit. Like, there's no way. But just let me know if just let me know if you guys really do want that. But I'm gonna leave this there for now. I will see you guys. Y'all probably won't see me again this week, and unless I be saying, unless it just see, I have to get on my camera because I'm busy this week. So y'all will probably see me next week, unless something just calls to my spirit so loudly. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.